welcome back to the Fresh and Yacht podcast. Hello, Kenneth. How are you today?
I'm swell. I'm ready to talk about freaking cutie members. How are you today?
Me too. I am here, and I'm also really excited to talk about honestly, baby girls. Just the cutie patootie fucking love of my life, sis.
Yes.
The collective force behind why I'm not homeless.
Yeah, that's really, you're hitting home.
Yeah.
This is our season finale for season 2. Pretty crazy. Someone the other day asked me why I think it was Nick. I think they asked why we decided to do 11 episodes. And I was like, because it's between 10 and 12. Because that's literally how we decided. We were like, should we do 10 or 12 episodes? And Ashley T was like, let's do 11.
So why don't we just go into a compromise queen?
Yeah. So that's why we have 11 episodes.
Kenneth, we have 2 seasons of a podcast.
We have 22.
Like, it's
episodes.
One thing to be like, oh yeah, I have a podcast, and then it's another thing to be like, yeah, I'm starting season 3 of my podcast. Like, talk about not knowing how to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it took me less than like 30 seconds today to think of what we should talk about. I was like trying to brainstorm earlier, and then the minute I was like, and I was like, oh yeah, duh, members. And it just goes to show that we really will never run out of things to talk about.
No, never. Never ever.
Not in this town.
This is so exciting though, because we've I feel like we've skirted around this topic. We've been like, I'll talk about members in another episode. Oh, we're gonna drop a little piece of info here, drop a little piece of info there. But like this this is the time to yap about the people that make our lives possible. There's so much stigma against this group of people. Like, I want to set the fucking record straight here.
Yeah, I think that we need to definitely set the record straight, and also just give a thank you to this member. I mean, this episode is definitely dedicated. Well, I can't talk. Never mind. You say it for me, because apparently I am not okay.
This episode is brought to you by today's sponsor, members.
Members.
Literally.
Thank you. That's all I really needed. Yeah. We're very appreciative, and it's like made us not homeless. So thanks for that. Love that for us. It's been really nice to not be having to get a normal 9-to-5 job. So thanks for becoming our friends. It's pretty cool that it's not just an internet-based thing.
Yeah.
And I think that because of our friendship, it makes internet friendships easier to trust. Because obviously, we've been told since kids not to talk to strangers on the internet. And we were like, but how about making it your entire job?
It's actually really funny.
I think about it all the time. Like, don't literally became best friends with strangers. Nope. Yeah, actually, I will do that. That's all I'm going to do.
Like, forever.
Yeah. Thanks.
I think it's there's a lot of it is, and people find it kind of hard to believe. I think you and I can paint like a good picture of at least our experiences, right? I had preconceived notions about what things would be before I went live on a campsite, right? I had been part of chat communities in the past. I used to be a part of live chat communities with we had MSN. I was used to fucking messaging, but I'd been a part of an art community when I was younger. I knew what it was like to be kind of live chatting with strangers and stuff. But I definitely figured before getting on MFC that it was going to be just a stream of show me your feet, I want to see your ass, you're hot, I'm touching my ween. I figured it was just going to be extremely sexual, and I rolled up and it was hilarious right away.
Yeah no, I agree. It was funny the first night. I do remember laughing a lot. I think that's kind of what draws you into it, is you're like, oh, this isn't just yes, there are very many horny people on the interwebs, but at the same time, I think also being a child of chat, maybe I shouldn't rephrase, of being a person on the internet who had access to chat roulette and Omegle and shit, that was where I was at, and I was definitely just yeah.
You're like, yeah, it's fine.
I don't have much to
whatever.
say because we were all on there and there were all these men jacking off. And yeah, I mean, it was early on, like
Way
SPH.
too early on.
If you don't know what that means, it's small population.
Yeah. Yeah, right. And that's what you figured would happen, like that you jump into this scenario and you'd be like, it's chat roulette. And for anybody that has not spent, still, if you haven't spent any time on a campsite and you're still listening to us 2 seasons later, you're not curious at all? Anyway, it's so similar to Twitch. Like, it is so similar to what you'd see in a Twitch chat. It's almost exactly the same. Because it's just people.
Well, yeah, we have Instagram Live now and Twitch Live, and like it's the same shit. You just have different levels of what you can do. I mean, TikTok doesn't care apparently with what they have on live, only if you are a sex worker. But if you're not, you can fuck a couch and they don't care.
Yeah, no problem. Dude, Instagram Live is a cesspool. Like, I feel so objectified and grossed out and like harassed on Instagram Live. I never go live on there because it is disgusting.
Should we do some professionally hot podcast lives while we're
on hiatus,
taking a little break?
Yeah, I'm down. Yeah, and
as you're like, I hate.
I fucking.
As you're like, disgusting. I hate Instagram Live. I'm like, should we do that though?
No, we'll go on Twitch. We'll just stream professionally hot on Twitch because again, Instagram is a fucking cesspool. Like, if you've ever been on an Instagram Live, MFC is so much more tame than that. More respectful.
It really is. It is. It's so weird. I mean, it's not because like it's not surprising, but it is. It's quite intimidating, and I can really only be on there for like 10 minutes before I'm like, okay, gonna go because this is weird.
And I think like part of the dynamic, just to like kind of set the stage, because on MFC, especially in the earlier years, we exercised our right to control our space unabashedly. It was like if someone had the slightest tone to their messages or whatever, it was like, you're fucking out, right? And not only am I going to ban you, I'm probably going to bitch you out on the way out to like embarrass you in front of the rest of the room, right? And so people knew right away that they wanted something from us, whether it was attention or tits or whatever, and B, they knew that if they weren't very polite about it, we were going to kick them out. So I think there was a power balance there, which favored us, and it created kind of an atmosphere of a required degree of respect in order to, it's like you have to be nice to the wait staff at a restaurant because they can spit in your food.
Absolutely, yeah. That's
you don't
the
want
one.
that.
That's like not the main reason, but that is one of the biggest reasons that I will be nice regardless of what they're doing to me, because I'm like, please don't spit in my food.
Yeah. So it was like there is an atmosphere of respect, or at least there was. It's been a long time now since I've streamed on FC, like a long time actually.
I know. It's weird,
but it set the stage for people to be a polite version of themselves, a respectful version of themselves, and it set the stage for making friendships, like actual fucking friendships.
Yeah, no, it's very true.
And people find that really hard to wrap their heads around.
Yeah, well, that's what I was just gonna say. Is the stigma side of things is really a good thing to talk about.
Hi, Lily. She says, and the stigma.
Yeah, she does. We're actually recording right now, so I need you to wait. Yeah, let's talk about the stigma. I think that there's a lot to be said, and I'm gonna let you to kind of take the reins on it because you have also like gone to school for men's mental health. I feel like that has a lot to do with it. So
I think there's a few key stereotypes. The first one puts the members, the consumers, the supporters as victims. They put them, they say these men are lonely, these men are desperate, these men are being exploited. And it's just it paints this overall picture of them as like very sad individuals. They're people that can't get bitches in real life, or like people that are being conned, and it really strips them of their autonomy. It reduces them to like, just this pathetic version of a person that they are not. Like, are people on campsites lonely? yes, people in the world are lonely, right? Are people on dating apps lonely? The stigma's like, the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's really today. It's really no different in my opinion.
Yeah.
Having dating apps and being on sites that give you comfort
Yeah.
and intimacy in different ways.
And entertainment.
I
Like
don't
that's
know.
the biggest thing is
Yeah.
that people seem to forget that porn and camsites, it is for many people just a chosen form of entertainment, just as some people enjoy
Yeah.
going to a bar, right? Yeah, there's alcoholics that can't leave a bar, but there are
Mm-hmm.
people that like to go to a bar for fun.
Yeah,
It's the
why can
same
guys
shit.
go for like to like a strip club for their bachelor party or something and they're not reduced to like being lonely, but a guy goes online to hang out with like a friend who actually knows him. They know the person they're talking to and stuff. I feel like that's a lot nicer in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, there's a lot of like there's a lot of stereotyping around when it is appropriate or when it is pathetic, to be in contact with or supporting or like enjoying a cam girl or a sex worker
Yeah.
in general, right? Like even with a strip club, oh, the bachelor party thing is fine. Like he's got bitches. He's about to get married.
Yeah.
And because that's a bad thing also, the poor thing, time to go. Oh my, what the fuck? It gets
Yeah.
complicated. But there's even more, I think there's even more stigma around people that like viewing a campsite, especially if you're just there for porn. That's one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Interacting, now you're like kind of pathetic, and then paying,
Yeah.
oh, you poor thing, right?
Yeah.
They're having fun.
Yeah.
Is that so hard to
Yeah.
believe that they're having a good time?
Yeah, no, I agree. And then also add in sugar daddies to the mix, and a lot of, yeah, sometimes you'll hear people say like, "Oh, they're just a creepy old dude that like, maybe can't pay to, or maybe can't just like have sex for free or something." That's almost never the case with sugar daddies either. That they're like lonely or like, you know what I mean? Like they're just looking for entertainment, like you said.
Yeah, a chosen form
Yeah,
of entertainment, right? There are things that are
yeah,
right for people for tons of reasons. One of my fucking my this member and I have been homies for like 8 years now. Like we talk all the time. He's the fucking best.
yeah,
And he don't like people. But no, he's the best. He's just, he's not a people
yeah.
person. He's not a people guy, but he really likes the online format of hanging out with, hanging out with people on the internet. And that's the way he operates, you know?
It's like you with movies. Like you can say you don't like movies, but you just like watching movies that you like to watch, and
Yeah.
Kai just likes to be around people that get him. Like,
Yep.
it's like maybe he obviously likes people, or he wouldn't talk to you. But
Mhm.
the other people is not the vibe for him. And finding
Mhm.
comfort in that, you keep that. You don't fucking let it go just because there's weird stigma around it. Life is too
Mhm.
short, and the world is lonely. Like it's way more
Yes.
worth it to have an internet friend who knows you and like understands you, and even just the smallest ways, like just gives you any respect, that saying
Absolutely.
hi during the day. Like there's so many little
Whatever.
things that you can do that provides that friendship, and doesn't have to be a sexual side of things. There is, but like it doesn't have to be. And I
Yep.
think a lot of people just think it's only sex related,
They
which is
just get
understandable.
really latched on. I'm like,
Hmm.
are you okay?
Yeah. Do you
I'm
want a
like,
friend, or I can be your friend too?
yeah, like
Yeah.
you're really focused on the
Well, it's
sex part.
projection on all parts for me when someone's like, "Oh, they're, that's weird." Why? It's like, sorry, you can't like step outside of your comfort zone and, like become friends with someone. Just, I don't know. I think that there's a lot of like people that are also scared to admit that they would be okay with having an online relationship, or, and like you said, Hinge. How is dating apps like any different besides the fact that one's a job? Obviously, let's clarify
Mhm.
that the fact that like we're not dating apps, they are
No.
separate things. But when it comes to online presences and being like in a place where you need entertainment or a company or whatever those things are, it's not much different in my opinion. That's all I'm saying.
Can you
Hello?
hear noise?
Yes.
Babe? So my husband is just crashing around the house. I
Talking to
think he's
him.
just sorry, everybody. Brief pause there because my husband is having fun opening and closing doors today. It seems I don't know what he's doing. But he seems to be having a good time
husband. He's gone from house
to like
husband
ghost
to haunting your house.
He's now a house haunter. A haunt husband. A haunt husband.
That's amazing.
Oh my god. Okay, hold on. I'm bringing back my train of thought here. Fucking Mr. Distractions.
Wait, I know I have a different train of thought. Real quick, I have to tell you, you guys for Halloween should be. He needs to be your dead like husband that you murdered, and you're like the hot like bride. You know, like you're like sad and you've got like mascara, but then he's like dead, and that would just be really great. Anyways, back to the story.
Or we could make it extremely dark, and I could be the dead one.
Yeah, but that's obvious. The wife is always the one to fucking die.
Yeah, but I'm the. You know how it's like, oh, you know how it's like, I killed my rich husband for the inheritance.
Yeah,
I'm the rich husband.
I know. So what'd you kill him?
So dark
because he was fucking messing around while we were making a podcast.
Yeah, that's why interrupted the podcast.
Mr. T.
Chop.
Yeah.
Okay, but
so sorry.
So like dating apps, they have this end point, this expectation of end point where you are getting into something that like progresses.
Sometimes.
The illusion
you have a better chance
there.
of finding a partner on my free cams at this point.
Oh my god. And you don't have any chance, by the way. That's the joke. Please don't go on these sites and look for dates. But that's the thing. Like, at least with dating apps, there's this idea that you're gonna like meet up in person. Whereas like on MFC, really, if you think about it, it is flirtation and flirtation only. Like there is no expectation of meeting someone in person. There is no like, oh, I'm going to date this person. And it's almost weird for someone to say that, to be like, oh no, I'm not looking for a relationship. I just want the hot, the fun. I only want to be there for 2 hours a day. You know, I don't want a girlfriend. I just want
I wish they
attention
would say that.
And sex.
That would be nice.
To like get rid of some stigma. I think it would be kind of cool to like talk about like some of the homies, you know, like give a better picture of like who these people are. But I want to start with one common thing that like everybody that would go on a campsite, like campsite members are all like fucking hideous. Do you remember that hot guy that would like had his cams turned on occasionally? I know Brina and Anna Fox saw him and he kind of made the rounds. Like people were like shocked.
Yeah, I don't know if it was the same hot guy.
hottie?
Yeah, I don't know if it was the same hot guy that came into my room, but I had a couple that like I was like, damn, like you're actually so attractive, to the point where I was like, do you live in my state or
do you live around? And then it's you being like, it's not a dating site.
Yeah,
poor man.
Yeah. He's just here to jack off, Kenzie.
Yeah, be nice to him.
Don't sexualize him or don't romanticize him.
Don't romanticize this man. Okay, that's not what he's here for.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, definitely like there's this idea that like everyone is just like fucking hideous and that's why they're on campsites. Not true. Lots of baddies, lots of hot. I mean, I never really turned people's cams on. Some people did. I never did.
I did a lot.
But sometimes super attractive people on there.
Really attractive. Yeah. Sometimes really attractive people with giant wieners too. Like shocking to just be like,
yeah. Yes.
Where did you get that? Like that's fucking crazy. What the fuck? I've never And I'm like, so it's actually you can jack off for me. Thank you very much.
It's not just like teeny weeny wiener, you know, super ugly. Like that's not
teeny
we
wiener.
Can just get rid of teeny wiener. We can just get rid of that stigma now because it's just not true.
Yeah.
No. Remember, we may have to bleep out some names here because I'm about to drop celebrities. So I think we should bleep out names just to get people curious. Used to make the rounds. He was a troll, but he was definitely there. Like he was around.
Yeah.
And
I was just gonna say, I was like, the guy that did fucking that was a great show. I loved that show, and then to find out that he was just chilling on. Yeah, that was. I mean, I'm here for it. Why not? Why wouldn't they be on there? Loved cam models.
Yeah, we had breakfast with him.
We did,
and he didn't eat his salmon.
No,
it still bothers me to this day.
Yeah, he's a rapper. You know, they don't really they live off of
yeah. So it's not even like, you know, losers, nobodies. Like there's been a host of, I mean, people that made themselves known. that are household names.
Well, and obviously they're not members, but look at all the fucking celebrities that have come to sing for the cam world, the sex world industry. Like,
Yep.
it's not surprising that there would be people that were famous in some way on cam sites.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yep.
it's yeah.
So it's, it is, there's a little bit of everybody. This is not a sphere that like only one type of person visits. It's a very diverse group of people, but because of the stigma, they probably don't come out and ever admit to their friends, their loved ones. They just would never say anything about it because they don't want to be perceived in a certain way. But it's a much broader population than I think anybody gives 1 second to think about.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. There's a lot more. And honestly, I think that if there weren't also people that were attractive as members, there probably wouldn't be that many hot cam models. I don't know why, but I feel like it kind of equals it out. Like, there's a, and I mean this in the nicest way possible, but there were a lot of cam models that would go on in the earlier days when we were still on My Free Cams, and they marketed themselves as ugly or gross. So like, in my opinion, it's both sided. There can be really hot people, and there can be really not hot people, but like, there's still something for everyone. Yep. And I think members and models equaled that playing field out. Like, once again, not a dating site, but I just mean on the sense of like, there's hot on both sides and there's not hot on both sides. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then as far as like, I think social skill and stuff, there's that stigma there as well that, these people like, people that would like pay a cam model, like they just don't know how to talk to like other people. No, my members are some of the funniest people I've ever met. Like just the fucking the weirdest and genuinely fun to be around.
Yeah, and the fact that you have people that could never last in a chat room. Like, some of these people may not be able to hold conversations in real life the same way that they can on the internet, and it gives them that like safe space to be able to be themselves. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I'm like, there's tons of people that may be the most extroverted person, but you put them in a chat room and they're not going to be able to figure out how to become friends with people online. Like, it's in my opinion, it's just who's on the internet and who's not, who's like, you know, been working a job for 10 years that would make you, or being on a campsite for 10 years, 10 plus years would make those things easier. But at the same time, like, I think that there's a lot of people that just wouldn't be able to do what we do or what the members do.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like a specific skill set, and it's a valid one. There's nothing bad about it. There's nothing. They make awesome friends. And I think especially now that I'm retired from MFC, a big piece that people will come at and say is, the only reason that these girls are talking to these guys is because that they're paying them, the only reason that there's any friendship, any connection, it's all fake because, they're just there for the money. And again, it just totally erases autonomy from us, and then also erases any potential connection and personality between us and the members. Right now that I'm retired, babe.
Hey, baby. We are recording podcasts.
His face, he's like, and he just walks out of the room. We're calling you a haunt husband. You're like you're just slamming doors. You're like a ghost.
The other thing of that too is the people that, like, have a lot of money to spend and stuff. I think that it's fair to say that there's a lot of people that will have money, and sometimes maybe their love language is just like spending their money on other people, girls that they think are deserving of that.
It's my love language too.
Yeah, but you saying that, like, they're on there only the girls are talking to them only because they're tipping. If that was true, we would both be fucking millionaires, because all the fucking freeloaders that we have given attention to and talked to and our attention and all the time, that's just not true. There are plenty of people that will come in and tip 5 tokens, and that is what, 30 cents. Like, you're not, but I'll still give you time, and I'm not going to ignore you, but I think that, like,
Well, and I mean, there was points in my life as well that I would like kick myself. This just is the way that it is. You know, someone would come through, freeloaders fuck, or just so cheap, like literally offering next to nothing for my time, but so funny and just clicked with me in a way that I'm like, God fucking damn it, I'm gonna pay all this attention to you. It's never gonna come back. Like I'm not gonna profit off of you, but you're such a vibe. Like I don't care, I guess.
Yeah.
You know.
Once again, bag is floating away.
It's just drifting down the stream.
Yeah.
You know, okay, bye. Oh, fuck, whatever. You're so funny though. Like, yeah, keep talking. You know, set such a bad example too, because you know, people are like, oh, this person's not really tipping, but they get all this attention, so I guess I don't have to. And I'm like, I'm setting a terrible precedent, and that's fine because you're a vibe. And there's people that I still talk to on a daily basis that I'm no longer on a campsite. They owe me nothing. I owe them nothing. We're friends.
Yeah, it's gone past the point of just like an internet person, and they're part of your life. Like I mean, you know, especially doing the girlfriend experience, which is like a texting experience that I have done on and off throughout the years, and it's just a more personal way of being able to like chat with people that want that more one-on-one experience. And I think having, you know, relationships built from that and stuff, like you do end up becoming friends because you're like actually genuinely learning about each other. You're talking all the time. Like it's not just a surface level like, hey, are you paying me? But I will say that there has been many times where, you know, it's still a job, and like if you're doing the girlfriend experience with me, it's an allowance based thing. Like it's my time is still, you know, finite, worth something. But I do have a lot of other people who have done the girlfriend experience or have really like supported me financially, you know, emotionally, and they become friends, and I don't expect anything from them. And if they do start to kind of disappear, I'm like, hey, like, where are you going? Because like I've already decided that we're friends, and the money is wonderful, and I hope that you can never stop tipping me. But at the same time, I've already felt love for you, and you don't get to just leave me now.
Yeah,
sorry.
It's like, no, it's like, and that's where things, I wish it could be that simple. And I think other people outside the industry simplify things in a way that, that would be great if it was real life, but these are still people, and we are still people.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes you make friends, you know, and I remember this happening with your girlfriend experience. Somebody drifted and you were like, fuck, I miss my homie, man. Like I used to text him every day. Like did he die? Like, I wonder what's up with this guy. Right. And, you know, having him come back through and you being like, fuck, okay, I know I'm offering a service here and I don't have all the time in the world, but like, you're chill. So like, can we still talk? Like, I'm not, like, please don't leave me.
Check-ins. Yeah. And also having someone that kind of steps away, it's also a green flag in some ways, because they do see that like you are, you know, still working and they don't want to be selfish. But there's also like a thing where it's like, yeah, but you've already told me about like your dog, and now I'm wondering about them.
Okay, I named one of my members' dogs. His name is Gordy.
That's amazing.
I know, he's a golden lab, cute. I think. And this is actually a fun story. So this, his name is Rob, the member. He was there on my first night. Young guy, super attractive, works in trades, like just a lovely person. Really lacking in self-confidence. Like he had all the makings of a wonderful partner, right? Super supportive, really sweet, really fucking funny, and showed up for me in like big ways. And the closer we got, the more I got to know him, the more he would start to open up to me, you know, about, I'm also like, you know how we are, fucking picky, you know, he'd say things that I was like, hold up, don't say that about yourself.
Same brain.
What are you talking about? Like, you're great. And that kind of bolstering, eventually he was like, I was kind of thinking of going on a date with this girl, and I was like, oh my God, hell yeah. Like, do it, right? It would have been in my best interest to, you know, have manipulated to have kept the bag, because he did go, right? But for me, it was awesome to know that at least I played some part in bolstering this guy's confidence, right? And that happens, I think, way more often than, I think even more often than we would think, you know? Just giving someone the time of day sometimes can pull them out of a pit where they're like, no one gives a fuck about me, I suck, you know? But if you tip someone $50 and they're like, holy fuck, that is so sick. Like that covered the rest of my phone bill. Like, thank you. I really appreciate it. They feel a little bit better about themselves, a little pep in their step. They might, make eye contact with someone that they wouldn't have if they were looking at their feet, right? Like,
Yeah.
Impacts are there. They impact on both sides.
No, it's very true. I was just having a thought to myself while you were saying all that too, that like is the stigma there because of, I mean, yes, I think the stigma is there because of the men that are seeking out something sexual online. Like that stigma will always be there when it comes to sex workers, and obviously there's a lot of like dirty scene in it. But what if we were like trading like tomatoes for entertainment like that? Is it the stigma is worse because it's money, and money has dirty connotations attached to it? Like I don't know. I just keep thinking about
I mean,
like
money make the world go round, and money is power, money is control, right? Like yeah. And they also say, what is it? I think it was Oscar Wilde that says everything is about sex except sex. Sex is about power. And so when you get, money is power and sex is power into the same like, soup, things get complex. If it was tomatoes, it would be totally different. But because it's money, things do get messy. It's not like I said, it is so fucking nuanced. And we can't oversimplify it. We can't. I mean, we've already talked at length about, especially that like kink shaming episode we did. It's weird out here too. It's not this like secretly all sunshine and roses. It's fucking weird. Some members are so dark. Oh, this is kind of like a word for the wise. Speaking of members, because I will continue to like boost up people the rest of this episode, but some people on these sites are scary, insidiously scary. And I know now, I get it. I'm fucking not my first rodeo, not our first rodeo. When you get that feeling in your stomach and you realize that like you've left a conversation, even on OnlyFans, you've left a scenario where you're thinking about that person and feeling kind of anxious. Like, did I say the wrong thing? Or like, what did he mean by that? That is like, cut, go. Doesn't matter how much the money is, run. Because people online, they will, like, there's some fucked up people out there that try to get into your heads. And if you let them, bad news bears. There's a lot of sweetie
pies. That's both-sided. That's for models and for members. It's so both-sided. Right. There are some dark ass fucking content creators. I mean, and it's so not surprising. It doesn't think about how dark some of the TikTok creators are and how fucked up some of the comments can be. It is no different on a campsite. There are still people who have had their own life experiences that have made them who they are, and they can put on a show, something that Ashley T and I are not good at, pretending to be other people. But the minute that you feel that intuition or that little gut tingling feeling telling you this is actually weird, trust that, because it's not worth it. And I think that's also a very big word to the wise to people that are addicted to, like, I don't know what I'm trying to say, like the toxic side of things.
Yeah.
Like if you find yourself more inclined to drama and the toxicity of relationships, then maybe just stay off of campsites.
Yeah, be careful, because it's going to cost you a lot of money. It's going to hit you in the wallet real hard. Like for members, if you start getting a sense that if you feel like guilty, if you start to feel really guilty, or, you've spent, you look at your budget, but then, she said this to me, she's really struggling. Like, fuck, like I feel bad about, if you're out and about doing your own stuff and you feel bad about buying yourself dinner, or like, you start to back it up, right? Like there are communities and creators out there that will respect your budgets. You're not responsible for someone else's well-being. Like this is still entertainment. And you can feel super good about doing what you can. Don't start to feel shit about doing what you can't. That's not the point.
Yeah, no, it's very true. Especially as far as like the catfish side of things too. Like I think about that catfish that I have. I know we both have a lot of annoying catfishes, but
Mine's
that
fucked
one
off
that had that
recently.
mine, I haven't seen anything recently, but the one that had that guy fly out to Vegas with his friends and stuff, you know he had some gut feelings before telling him that. Like I haven't even FaceTimed her, and also it makes me pissed off because this catfish has been using both my dogs, my passed away dog and my alive dog, as ways to get money from these men, saying that like, oh, my dog's sick or she's been taken away, and I'm like, the dog is fine. Like that's fucked up. So trust your intuition.
Yep.
The minute you have any
Absolutely.
sort of little tingling in your balls, and not the good kind, you need
Not the
to
good kind.
run the opposite direction.
Run for the hills. Get out of there. Because again, there's so many people
and
that will
baby cam
respect
models. Yeah, and to the baby cam models and baby content creators listening, same thing. Like if someone's asking you to do something, maybe make sure you always get payment first. And if they're asking you to do something and you don't feel comfortable, you don't have to do shit. That bag is never
No, you
worth
also don't.
your
Yeah.
your respect for yourself, your integrity. Like it's just not.
No. And outside of like things that you have already promised, you don't actually owe anyone shit. Like it doesn't matter how much someone has spent on you in the past. If they're asking you for something that you don't do, the weight there's no weight there. You know, you don't owe them shit outside of what you already offer, you know. And I think that again, the human aspect, once we get to know each other more, like, I mean, it's pretty clear cut if you're like, I don't do anal, and someone then like tips you $1,000 for other stuff, and they're like, well, are you sure?
Yeah.
That's like, okay, obvious. But you know, it can also
it's your
boil
own
down
boundaries. You know your own boundaries.
but it can boil down to time as well. You know, you start to like talk to people more, you develop relationships with them. But if it starts to eat up the time you'd spend on your own or time you'd spend with your friends, with your partners, you know, you start to feel obligated. Like, oh, well, this he's really going through a lot right now. And like, I know I'm kind of busy, but, you know, I'm going to duck out and like spend time, you know, texting or like, no. You gotta, the boundaries have to exist with human aspects as well, not just butt stuff.
Yeah, no, it's true. And I think that like there are lines that we're all willing to cross for a certain dollar amount at times, like especially when you're new in the industry and stuff, but you can always give the money back. Like you can always fucking send the money back. Even if you say yes to something, you're not in a signed contract. You don't have to be scared that someone's, even if they are mad, send them their money back and say, I'm sorry, I'm not actually going to do that.
I'm not
You're allowed to do those things. You don't have to feel obligated. And I mean, and I think that that's a fair thing to say, because this is one of those industries where you can do those kind of things and you're not going to like, I don't know. It's the customer isn't always right. For us,
we still hold
really
so
nice.
much power in this. And you can, you know, I've had scenarios myself where I've been like, oh, I'm totally, especially with the bipolar, you know, I'll get hypersexuality, but now I'm medicated and in therapy it's better. But I've had episodes of hypersexuality where I'll make promises, and then when I come out of that, because hypomania only lasts, you know, between like a week and a half, I come off of that high and I realize I've promised things that I'm so deeply uncomfortable with. And it has put me in positions in the past where I've had to reach out and say, I fucked up. I don't want to do this anymore. Like I can't offer you content because I don't want to give you something that the person on the other end doesn't enjoy. That's not fair for you either. You know, and it's been, after that, it's been working things out and figuring out, you know, how do can I send money back? Can I offer other things?
Right. Offering other things is always an option too.
Yeah. And just being honest about it, because shit happens sometimes. It's not, I wasn't out here scamming on purpose, right? Like it worked out like that, unfortunately, but sometimes shit hits the fan. It's complicated.
It is. It's not the easiest.
Can we talk about some sweet things that members have like, especially like gifts or given us or helped us with, or like some like cute stuff? Because there's so, okay, I'm kicking it off because all of my kitchen equipment has been gifted to me by members. People would think like, oh, they'll buy you sex toys, they'll buy you lingerie. No, a hand mixer, a panini press. I love my panini press. That was a gift.
My air fryer also.
My air fryer. My popcorn popper.
All of my plates, all of my forks and knives.
Yeah.
All of my cups, besides like random ones. like my nice little cute cups are always from members and stuff.
My heated
towels.
blanket.
Yeah, my heating pad, my bed sheets, this chair, this desk,
this chair. Me too. This chair.
mic.
Yeah, just same. Everything. And part of we ended
I'm like looking around. I'm like, is any of this mine?
No, that thing is not. The Totoro, no. That like nothing. I haven't bought myself jack shit. Like all of this. And
what's
again,
the most
we ended last
expensive
season.
thing that someone has bought you?
Oh, my YSL heels and matching bag.
Mm-hmm. That was fun.
That was so
exciting.
Cool.
That was
cool.
That was a sugar baby moment without having to do any sugar. Yeah, that was a bad bitch move.
Oh my god,
you got like 30 cool points.
I felt extremely cool.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah,
but that just added more points to it.
I tweeted on my way back from Thailand one year because I was going from like 35 degrees Celsius to -10. It was -10 at home, 35 in Thailand. And I was like, I'm going to freeze to death. And somebody bought me the nicest faux. It's like a $200 faux fur blanket. This thing feels like if you ever imagined like cuddling with a polar bear or something. Like it's so heavy and nice. And every time I use that thing, I think about the person that got it for me. It's been 10 years.
Yeah.
I still have it.
No, I get it. Yeah. My Stuart Weitzman boots are those were like $1,200 and
oh my god,
my laptop was like 15. I didn't buy that shit.
Yeah. And I think people think we take that shit for granted, or members might get insecure and think that we forget. Nah, dude, I exercise gratitude every day of my life. I'm constantly reminded about how kind people are.
Well, that was the best part about like my last couple days on cam. I was like just obviously feeling very thankful and goopy and stuff, and I started tearing up and was like, I just want to remind you guys, to my members, that like you guys don't have to be here and like you don't have to tip, and it's crazy that you've like picked me out of so many girls on this site to like spend these last 10 years with, or a year or 6 months or whatever time they've been here and stuff. And I think Poob or someone was like, wait, what? You mean we don't have to tip?
You're like,
I was like,
okay, so
actually just kidding. You do.
You do, kind of. But at the same time they don't. You're right. They could have picked anybody else.
It is not there's no they don't have the thing is they don't have to pick anyone at all. Like I think me and you are, and a lot of content creators and cam models would be on the opposite ends of the stigma side, being like, it's insane that they even are tipping online. Not it's insane that they're tipping online because they're lonely. I'm like, why are you spending your money on me? It's so like genuinely nice. It is not, there's no obligation, especially on a site called My Free Cams. Like they literally put it in the title to be like, yeah, they're gonna fuck you guys over. But we didn't, because there were genuinely nice people that wanted to be there and saw us as more than just a sex object. Really, like and the gift side of things is so funny when you have a muggle non-sex worker friend who like you get like I asked my friend who lives in the building if she could pick up one of my packages for me, and she opened it, which was so funny.
That's hilarious. It's like, what's in here? No, I love her already though. I'm so excited to meet her.
Yeah. I was like, can you just grab my package for me? And then she texts me and she's like, it's a bathing suit. I was like,
thanks.
But when I saw her, I was like, opening mail is illegal, right? Illegal. Opening other people's mail. She's like,
that's
sorry.
A crime.
But
sorry,
she was like, why do you get, she's like, why do you, like, I wish people like sent me random things. And I'm like, it is really nice and it's really strange. Like, it's not strange for us because I'm very used to it and I appreciate I don't care if it's a fucking rock in a bag. Like, I'm stoked to get whatever. It's like Christmas or my birthday, just randomly.
Like all the time, which is amazing.
Yeah, and you're just like, oh, yeah. And recently, shout out to Nick for the bikini bottom idea, because I'm doing Hot Girl Bikini Bottom Summer, and I've been playing the SpongeBob game on Twitch, and he's just been buying me all these cute-ass fucking bikinis.
Hell yeah.
And I'm like, thank you so much. Like, so nice. Nick, I love you. But like, it's just, it's so fucking nice. And like, it helps out. He's helping me think of content. He's not asking me if he can be in my content like a fucking idiot. He's just giving me like
It's fun
information. Yeah, just more fun. Like, hey, you should try this out. And if you don't want to, no big deal, you know?
Yeah.
It's like I just really appreciate the reciprocation of energy
reciprocity
when it comes to like stuff that there's no boundaries that are being crossed. It's just like appreciated on both sides. You are just genuinely friends. I don't know how else to fucking say it. Like, and it wouldn't be weird. They're not asking me to meet up, but if for some reason I saw them in person, it wouldn't be weird because I would just treat them like I do the guys at AVN. Like, and I think that, let's talk about that for a second, because we've had our AVN episode, but to touch on the member side of things is such a different experience because it's so wholesome. Like, it changes from this like weird online situation to like, hi, we're in person and I'm gonna terrorize you now and make you buy me drinks all night long. And like, you're welcome for being in front of you.
Yes. And like, just fuck that. Honestly, like, going back to like, I will never go back to AVN because I would die. Like, the shock to my system would kill me now. But the thing that I miss seeing my girls, but like I can do that anyway. But like the environment to hang out with all of my like dudes, with all the boys at the same time, that really doesn't exist outside of that, and that I will forever miss the most. That was so much fun.
We're very lucky to have that time and be with those people and stuff. We really had some of the best groups of guys online. Like, everyone was just, I don't know, I think
so funny. Like,
when you got the shoes and the bag and stuff, I think that was a perfect example of how easy it was to hang out with them, because we just decided to like go walk around Vegas. Like, I met up with you guys like after a while and stuff, but even when I popped up, like, nothing was weird. It wasn't like, there's members. It was just fun, and that's and I know that they were looking for that too. It's really nice that that they had fun as well.
Oh yeah, it was a good experience. Especially there's some hesitation, like they don't want to bother us. That's why when I say these people are so fucking respectful, they get there. There's no expectations, and they actually are like hesitant. Like they're like, oh, like I don't want to like assume. I figured you're busy, and I'm like, I want. Okay, let me just be very clear. Let me grab your fucking face because I can. I want to hang out with you. I get
come get oysters with us now.
Let's go eat. Go show me where you got that macaroni and cheese. I want that so fucking bad. There is an element of
bar.
Even they I think were like,
it's just...
oh my god, we actually get to hang out. I'm like, yes, I actually like you.
Yeah, like I want to be in the same. I think like sitting on the couch
like,
with
you
Poob
are
and Poob
cool.
just like Poob just sitting in silence and me being like, hey, like just the scariest fucking girl to walk up and be like, hey, Poob,
hey,
you want to hang out with me?
Oh my god, I guess.
And I'm like, are you sure?
But that's what you get, like an element of like shy versus feral, and that is so much fun. And I think again, there's a bit of a power element to it, which is fun for both sides, right? Like it's, I don't know, it was just a good time, and like if I could say anything, to both sides, right? If it were to be to cam models, do that. Take the time around your house to like look at things that have been bought for you, from anything from as small as like, I don't know, a bikini, right?
Crystal.
Yep.
To the most expensive thing that's been bought for you.
Yeah, like, keep that in mind.
They all matter.
They do, and you wouldn't have the life. We wouldn't have the lives we have without the weird ass support of a bunch of like secretly cool people.
Yeah, no, it's true. And also, my advice for the cam model side is to make as big as a like excitement effort when you receive one token as you do when you receive 1,000, because that person that is tipping one could be a whale, and because it's a psychology manipulation side of the internet too, where like they're gonna tip one to see if you are just as thankful for the 1,000 tokens that you just got. Be thankful for it all, because it'll come back and it'll be worth it, just to be excited, not even act excited, like just to genuinely be thankful, because that person didn't have to give you that 5 cents. They just didn't
and especially
maybe 5 cents, but
it's a little bit different with OnlyFans because you do see dollar amounts, but it's with tokens on MFC. It is designed that way to make it seem like it isn't money. For a while, when I started to get pretty jaded, because it happens, right? I pushed myself to think about, like, if someone were to see me in person and hand me a $5 bill for no reason, like what would that be like? Because that's what's going on a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Right. Like if someone hands you a
definitely.
$50 bill, that's wild. That's and even if it's someone giving one token and they never give another token, that's still money in the bank. That is a crazy concept.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's something
so
to like be
appreciate it,
so grateful for. Yeah.
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 I agree.
Whether you
and
make
I think
$20
like
or $200,000, like that's nuts that it happened at all.
Yeah, and I think like with the OnlyFans side of it, you're also not you're not live streaming, so the excitement levels are going to be different, because when you're on cam, you've got this like hype going on, and you know it is just different. But I think just being genuinely thankful and not just, you know, like I'll say thank you regardless of whether or not I just sent out a video and like they bought it, because I'm like, well, yeah, you should buy it because I made the video and it's good, but also like thank you so much for buying it, like you didn't have to do that, and maybe I'll offer something else for free, like you also get bonuses for being a thankful member. You know, I constantly I had to stop doing it, but I was constantly being like, hey guys, being appreciative goes a long way in my room, like just saying thank you makes me feel really good, like it's worth it for me, and I'll give you free shit if you're just being nice and thankful. So
yeah. Also,
I think that
little tidbit of advice. This is more Camgirl survival guidey, but voice notes on OnlyFans go a long way. If someone tips you $5, it takes no time at all to hit the microphone button and send a voice note that just says, "Holy fuck, thank you, I really appreciate it." Because it makes you feel more excited.
Voice notes.
Me too. It's an underutilized feature on that. Like people, I think about it now. You either forget about it or whatever, but use it.
Yeah. Well, and now I've had members sending me back voice notes, and I'm like, oh, I can hear your voice. Yeah, that's so cute. I didn't know that they could. I thought it was only a feature for us, but Nick did it the other day, and I was like, oh, hi.
Oh my god,
that's so cute.
That's
because it's like not, there's no like sexual side to it. It's just like really cute just to like hear someone's voice and have them be like, I hope you have a great day, and you're like, I hope you do.
I hope you have a great day. Bringing the human element onto OnlyFans, we can talk about that, and that's a big topic, because a lot of the magic that happened on MFC, there's a place for it on OnlyFans, and I think that era is going to start up, especially in the face of AI. This is a fun little segue for some other conversations. But yeah, always remember that the people that are supporting you are people, and as long as you keep that in your mind, it makes the job like so much more fun.
Yeah, no, so true. And on that fucking note, we fucking love all the members. We love you guys. The members.
We do.
Well, we really do. You've made especially the members that listen to this podcast. I think it wasn't surprising to know that we'd have friends like in the cam industry, cam girls and stuff listen to us, but to like listen to join into your Twitch room and have everyone, you're already like, oh, we were just talking about the podcast, and everyone's like, yeah, I love the podcast.
It's like so sick. And sometimes in my OnlyFans inbox,
thank you.
It's be in OnlyFans inbox, people are like, oh my god, I loved the last episode, and I'm like,
yeah.
I hope you have the best day, really and I really hope that you find a $5 bill in your pocket totally by accident, and I hope that you see something cute outside when you go outside, because you're really nice and I love you.
Yeah, no, we really do appreciate it, and we now have members for the podcast. We have people that probably didn't watch us on cam, didn't tip us on OnlyFans, haven't found us on Instagram, and they're like, we just found this podcast. And like that girl that messaged, shout out to that girl that messaged us the other day and said that she was driving her brother to college, and that she put us on and she feels less alone, because we really feel less alone. I mean, I'm speaking for myself, but I'm assuming that you also feel this way too. That it's so much fun to do this podcast and know that you guys are listening to us, and we're just so thankful to finish out our season 2.
Season.
I know think that last year we were just starting with our shitty phones, recording on our phones, and now we're so professionally hot. Ashley,
we're so professionally hot, and we're about to get even professionally hotter. You know, we're gonna take a little bit of a break because we have to learn how to do some stuff for being professionally hotter, which is, oh my god, learning so hard.
I know, and also Ashley T is gone all next month.
I'm looking at my calendar and it's a nightmare. Holy shit.
Yeah, so we're gonna come back in July around my birthday time. We'll be back. We will be working on things in between. We kind of mentioned this last time, but there's a few things that we kind of want to do, including possibly merch, possibly sponsorships, possibly eating each other's but live.
Kenneth, I don't want to do that.
I don't either.
I don't want to
okay.
do that. Okay, that's
I really
good.
don't either.
Okay, that's fine. Sorry to
We
everyone
will
that got
eat
excited
food
there.
with each other. We should do a mukbang episode.
I love that because I love hanging out with you and I love eating food.
Yeah, same.
Spicy noodle challenge?
Spicy noodle challenge, professionally hot spicy noodle challenge.
Yeah, we may, you know what, it'd be kind of fun to do some sort of like season 2.5, you know, season 2.5.
I think so.
Where like there's random shit that we come out with, you know, to expect the unexpected because we're too, we are too don't know how to shut the fuck up to actually take 2 months off. So you'll be hearing from us inevitably.
You should have very high expectations for us, but they should be at the lowest point that your expectations can go.
Yeah.
That's us.
Yeah. That's us. That's how it works around here. All right, well, Kenneth, it has been a slice doing season 2 with you. It has been a slice.
I know. I'm literally so in love with you. It's crazy.
I'm actually so obsessed with you that my back hurts.
Are you just feeling empathy pains for my back problems?
Yeah, and I'm also carrying the weight around of this like immense love I have for you.
And that fat ass girl.
Yeah, also that.
All right, well, you can find us at Milkshake at Professionally Hot, and all of our links are on there. And we're also on Apple Podcasts. I know a lot of people are Spotify listeners, but I just wanted to remind people that we are on Apple. And we're on YouTube.
YouTube. See our hot faces.
And hi. And we'll be back soon enough. Stay updated with us on the Professionally Hot Podcast Instagram for updates and stuff. And you'll see our sweet little sexy faces real soon. We promise you.
Yeah. And anytime you want to pay us money or buy us stuff, please do feel free.
Yeah. Hey, Ashley T, little baby. We got those young only ACs. You know what I'm saying?
I actually have no idea what you just said, but that's fine.
Only fans. Young ACs.
Yes. Oh, like an air conditioner.
I was thinking about getting a website that was just onlyacs.com, and then all the girls can just use that until Instagram realizes that we're talking about OnlyFans. I think it's a good thing to do.
That is a good idea.
Okay, I love you guys.
Okay, I love you. Bye.